So this rematch against Eddie Alvarez and Dustin Poirier completely lived up to the hype. It really lived up to the hype, man. Eddie Alvarez was coming out with the smirk on his face like he had the game plan of life. Like he had the game plan of absolute life, that he knew something about Dustin Poirier that nobody else knew. So I really thought, I was like, what's Eddie smirking about? Why is this guy smirking? Apparently the game plan was to kick the leg. I didn't feel like he kicked the leg enough, in my opinion. It seemed like when he was kicking the leg, it was hurting him more than it was hurting Poirier. But it was just a beautiful striking match. It really was. Exactly what I thought would happen. Exactly what I thought would not happen did happen. Eddie Alvarez has been stopped. It was a TKO finish against Eddie Alvarez. Dustin Diamond Poirier went ahead and put the hands all over him. Hands all over him. Man, that was a great fight, though. It really was. Apparently, Eddie Alvarez was just kind of being a little bit dirty. He was holding the fence during the guillotine. He did the 6-12 elbow, which is a dumb, stupid rule. But apparently he did the 6-12 elbow. It just was just the absolute, I don't know. It almost seemed like it was going to end the same way that the first fight ended. That's what it felt like to me. But, Dustin Poirier, that speed advantage was serious. It was sick. The speed advantage was absolutely sick. And his boxing is incredible. Like I said, that little left hand, that left hand coming out of the southpaw stance, it's an amazing weapon for Dustin Poirier. And he showcased it quite well against Eddie Alvarez. Actually, I think that is what finished him. That was the first strike that just caught him on the chin perfectly. And then he just threw a barrage of punches to his head. And what I thought that Eddie Alvarez was going to do, he did not do. What did I say? I said that in the Justin Gaethje fight, he started moving his head. He looked like he was tired of being in brawls. And so he was slipping punches. He was moving his head. He was ducking. In this fight, he decided to throw caution to the wind and not do any of that. He wasn't moving his head. He literally was just standing there getting punched like he was a punching bag. But I'm not sure what to say about Eddie Alvarez. It was the last fight on his UFC contract. He was trying to gamble. He literally was trying to gamble. But the problem is he just came up snake eyes. The contract that they give him now is non-negotiable. We know that. It's going to be non-negotiable. I'm sure that they would love to still have Eddie Alvarez in the UFC, but they want to pay him what they want to pay him. Eddie was trying to go ahead and gamble on himself, but it just didn't work out for him. And the UFC is really good at giving you stiff competition on your last fight. If you want to take it there and go all the way to your last fight and test free agency, then go ahead and do it. But I'm going to give you stiff competition so that you lose your last fight. So whatever win streak you were on, whatever you were trying to, whatever you thought you were worth, you're not worth it anymore. You're only as good as your last fight in MMA. These fights come too often. They really come too often to be thinking about last year's knockout. Anyways, shout out to Dustin Diamond Poirier. I'm happy for the guy. I'm not happy for Eddie Alvarez at the moment. I really did want him to come through with it, but it is what it is at this point. He's got to take the L and move on forward. Dustin Diamond, he's going to take that win and he gets to move forward. I'm not sure who he's going to be fighting, but this guy is looking like the real deal. It looks like he's finally found his comfort zone in the octagon. Anyway, shout out to the guy once again, and let me know what you guys think in the comment section.